this lot has the potential to be one of my favorite starter homes in the game, but it's just not really cutting it with the way that it comes by default. I think part of that problem is that it's really big, and so it's really, really empty when you first load into the lot. There's like no landscaping outside. It's also really, really dark in here. I don't know what it is about EA starter homes, but they always default to like the worst light options, and so it's so dark in all of their builds. And back in the day, I used to make a lot of videos making fun of EA's builds. I don't really have to anymore because they don't usually release builds that they've done. I guess in the high school pack they built themselves, but for the most part, all of the newer packs have had builds built by simmers. And so most of the new default houses are really, really good, and there's like no criticisms to be had, but all of the older builds from the earliest packs are like not the best. And so I made this little series where I tried to renovate EA's builds using EA's restrictions, and it was kind of just us guessing about like object counts and pricing and stuff, but basically the game was that I would try and renovate the house without adding any extra money, so I would just try and delete stuff to get extra money. For example, oftentimes I would make the house a little bit smaller, maybe delete the underside of some stairs to try and scrounge up some cash, and if I wanted to add any objects, I'd have to delete a different object first, so that basically at the end of the video it would cost the same and there would be the exact same number of items in the house. Now I actually did the builds for Snowy Escape, so I know a little bit more firsthand about how this actually works, and obviously it's not as straightforward as like you can have 20 objects. It has a lot to do with min-spec testing, so basically running the game and the build on like the lowest end computer physically possible to see that it actually functions. And obviously certain items are a little bit more heavy performance-wise, so obviously things like a couch are not equally interchangeable with like a plant. But for our purposes, for this challenge, if I want to delete a plant and put a couch in its place, then I will. And also for a starter home, you're not really gonna have to worry about performance so much. It's more like the big 64 by 64 lots that have like a million objects that have a little bit more issues. We simply can't afford enough objects to have performance issues in a starter home, so it should be fine. Now, normally, if I were to build a starter home, I would do things like use move objects and use debug to get like free landscaping, but because this challenge has to do with EA's restrictions, I'm not gonna do any of that. In fact, I'm not even gonna use move objects for this, so wish me luck. I'm actually gonna give myself an extra 1,000 simoleons though, because when I delete things, they depreciate and I'm not trying to lose all my money. But we know that at the end of this video, the lot has to be less than like 17,600 simoleons. Oh my god, and where do we begin? I think the first thing I would like to do, honestly, is shorten the wall height. Ooh, what did it delete? Is it just stairs? I think it's just stairs. That saves us some money. But the first thing I want to do is make the walls a little bit shorter. I just find using medium and tall wall height in these really small houses is very difficult because you just can't afford to put anything on the walls. I'm also gonna come right in and immediately replace these lights. So that's 1, 2, 3. Oh my god, there's not even a ceiling light upstairs. Ah! Okay, I'm gonna give us 4 ceiling lights because we deserve to have better ones. Luckily, these lights are actually cheaper than the ones that they had by default, and they're so much brighter. Like, already this makes a world of a difference. I also think that I want to make this porch a little bit smaller. I might even like shrink it back like that far. We'll put the stairs back. Ooh, put the stairs back where they belong, and we'll also delete the underside of the stairs because that gives us back a lot of money. And then I might also shrink this kitchen at least like 1 tile. Oh no. I'm sorry. We're gonna have to refigure this. I don't think this layout's gonna work, but we'll get there. I might also do a little trade for some of these wall lights because I don't need to have a wall light in there. I'd rather have a ceiling light in the bathroom. Now what? Now what do we do? Okay, oh, interestingly enough, I don't think I ever realized this. The roof line is wrong. I didn't change anything about this. Oh, that's so weird. Okay, well, I'll put the walls back there then. Yikes. This is the thing. You start looking a little bit more closely at EA builds and everything is just scary. Did it delete any of my windows in the front here? I think it must have deleted at least one because there had to be a window there, right? There wasn't no windows there, was there? We'll revisit that. We'll come back to that. I will think about that. You see, I'm kind of wondering though, and this is a little bit extreme, but I'm kind of wondering if I should make the whole place a little bit smaller, like even down to shrinking this over a little bit. No, please. Oh, why? You fit. No, okay. I'm not letting myself use move objects, but that's putting me in a very unfortunate position. I do think I'm gonna try and make this smaller though. Again, maybe a little bit of an odd choice, but I think that it being a little bit smaller is gonna make it a lot easier for us to furnish. Like basically the goal is for this to look like it's full, and right now it's not gonna look like that. So let's just do a little bit of shrinking, okay? Just like the tiniest little bit. It's putting a lot of items in my inventory, which is no good. Hopefully it didn't delete any of my windows. house, although it probably did. I feel like that's already an improvement, to be honest. Maybe I'll also like curve this part of the roof. Is that interesting, it being a little bit curved? Oh, this is so weird. Stop. I think it looks better. And as long as I think it looks better, that's a good start, right? Okay, yeah, it's definitely put a bunch of random things in my inventory. Interesting, interesting. At the moment, I'm kind of wondering if I should do a little, oh, what is that? Is that because of this? Okay, let's delete those. I'm wondering if I should do like maybe a little scoot over of the staircase, because we could probably keep this as the dining room. I'm wondering if we can make the bathroom back here. Same thing, it'll be kind of small, but that's okay. Living room in this area, or maybe we could have like the living room over here and the kitchen in that area. I don't know. But basically, I'm just trying to open this space up a little bit. I know this is kind of a small bathroom, but I feel like it might be nice. I might also just, you know, put wood on all of the floors. I think it looks a little bit better. Can I scoot this back? This might be better. Wait, I suppose even if it's just longer and skinny, that's okay. Because then we can probably fit like 2 bedrooms up here. Granted, they're small bedrooms, but we could probably fit 2 bedrooms up here. Oh no, is that because of the bed? I was gonna say, I think I'm gonna allow myself doors outside of the object count because there's not really a lot of objects in this house. And now that I think about it, I don't know if we'll be able to even furnish it if we keep up the object count business. So I'm just trying to be realistic with myself here. I might let us just do doors and windows separately. Okay, I'm putting the chairs back, and I will say I did actually really like how they had like the carpet underneath this, kind of like a fake rug. I thought that was actually really beautiful. I don't know what color to make it, but you know, spacing wise, that works. In a similar sense, I think it would be really nice if we had the bathroom stuff back. I had previously used this light for it. Luckily, they had a mirror. Oh, this is so sad. You know what? This build is certainly like renovatable, but I think trying to renovate it with the object count is what's really getting me. Because, you know, if they had just used some cheaper objects, or like maybe if they had just made the house a little bit cheaper from the beginning, then maybe they could have had more items too. But now instead I'm stuck with like their very limited objects when I could probably afford a bunch more. Oh my god, I actually hate the color of these cabinets. You know what, honestly, I think I need to make it smaller even. I just feel like it's so large and for no reason. It being like at least a little bit smaller would help. And look, we've got this rug. Maybe I'll use it in a pretty, should it be like gray? No, this is actually ugly. This is like honestly ugly. Are these wallpapers cheap? Oh, it's expensive. Dang it. Cause that would have been nice. I don't know. I feel like that's an upgrade to use like a nicer wallpaper. Can I delete this wall? I think the staircase is pretty nice too. Probably switch it out for like a wooden staircase or something. Okay. I have a question about changing the rules. Can I allow myself to have the lights separate from the object count? Because let me think about this. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I could just have 5 extra objects, I think I could go far with that. Maybe 6. If I could have 6 extra objects, I think I could go far. And then if I just let myself like put the lights where they need to be, because it's so dark. I don't want it to be this dark. It's making me feel sad. Like I just feel like having the lights separate is a serious improvement. I think you understand. I mean, I know I keep changing the rules, but look, see, imagine if we could have like a second couch or something. I could probably swap these for bigger couches. Wait, before I forget, I might place like 6 plants because then I know how many objects I can use. Oh, I can delete this toilet paper too for an extra object. Yes. And probably the fire alarm. Maybe I'll replace the fire alarm with a second cabinet. Okay, I'm allowed this many cabinets and I'm probably gonna try and get an extra one, to be honest. I know it's a bit pricey, but personally I believe it is worth it to have cabinets in the kitchen. Like I would way rather have some nice-ish cabinets in here. Can I use like linoleum on the floor? I think that's pretty. Okay, I'm not trying to let myself use move objects, but even then it's like so tight in these rooms. I'm not sure if using a dark wallpaper is a good idea, but I might just because I want like some sort of upgrade, okay? We gotta do something to make this look better. I also think that I might put like the desk in this hallway right here. At least there's something there, and then we can try and put like a kid's room together in this area. Oh, Okay, don't use fancy wallpaper. Lesson learned. You can just be like green or something. That's the best we can do. Okay, furniture wise, let's think. Probably cheap. Let's go for like, honestly, this is my default, but like one, that's 2 items. Maybe the kid could also have like a doll house. Are you serious? How are you meant to? Oh, it is so difficult to build with no move objects. I don't know how to function without move objects. We are so lucky to have access to move objects. Okay, that's 3 items. I have to delete 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait. I should have a couch still too. I forgot to place it back down. I got distracted. I'm not cheating. I owe myself a couch. I deleted the couch. I was supposed to put it straight back and then I didn't. So we are owed a couch, okay? I swear. How would this look if it were beige? Is that like super ugly? It's a little bit ugly. All right. I gave myself an extra couch, so I have to delete one of those. I'm running so far out of items. Maybe kill the lamp for a coffee table? I don't love the color of these chairs. I won't lie. They're not my favorites. I don't love this bathroom either. It's not my favorite. Whose idea was this? This EA restrictions thing is very difficult. Now I'm wondering if I should put the desk like down here. I could probably get rid of one of those plants and then put a computer. I know that's really expensive, but I'm just thinking like it would be really nice if we could afford a little bit more. I can also afford a bookshelf. Well, I mean, I had one and then I deleted it. I just want something bigger. Like I would prefer to have a more substantial piece of furniture, but it's all too expensive. Let me just put it back for a second. I don't know if we can afford the computer or not. We have to think. But what we can probably afford is to delete all the windows. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh no, 10, 11. Okay, 12. We are allowed 12 windows. And then if we replace them, it's just gonna look so much prettier. So that's 1, 2, 3 that I just added. That one was already there. I didn't delete that one. That's 4, 5, 6. Expensive. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my God. How much does this lot cost? Yikes, 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 yikes. Okay, delete. Delete the computer. Look, if I'm being completely honest with you, I personally would much prefer to have like lots of windows in here. I understand that like maybe we can't really afford it, but I think I'd probably prefer the windows over the computer. Do you know what I mean? Although maybe it would be more functional to have a computer. That's okay. Put a window there. Oh, it's so expensive. Should I like scoot this down or something? And what do you put back here? It's actually quite sad looking. Okay, I mean, I've deleted what, like 2 extra objects. So I've got 2 and then I have this plant that I can replace. I wonder if we could put like a, I don't know, like one of these, just like a little table or something. Maybe I will put that plant on it. Okay. Oh my God. This EA restrictions thing was a big mistake. It's so tough. There's like no furniture in the house. I do think that I've done a slightly better job than I thought I would be able to, but like realistically, I mean, I would prefer if I could put a couple decorations. Like if I could just have even like those plants, that would be a lot better, but that's more objects. This is the best that we can do object-wise. I think that nothing else can be done for this. I mean, I guess potentially we could also like lower the foundation a little bit. That'll save some money, but like I haven't even done anything on the exterior yet. It just isn't smart to prioritize the exterior when like there's nothing on the inside. I wonder if we could use a different wallpaper up here too, because that would save some money also. No, this is like actually the best that we can do. Let's try and repaint. Let's try and repaint, everybody. Let's see if we can do something with that. Oh, wait a minute. Oh no, never mind. I was gonna see if I could like shrink this again, but I can't if I want to use this window. I forgot. Oh, wouldn't it be better if it was smaller though? Because then like the living room would fit better. Oh no, because then I couldn't use my fake rug. Oh, never mind. Sorry. False alarm. Stop trying to ruin things. I'm also kind of wondering if we should use this wallpaper. It's the same, but a little bit different because it's got like the trim on the edges. I think that really helps. And then I wonder if we could maybe have like in a couple of areas, like some slightly different. Oh no, can I really not lower that at all? Oh my God. What if I delete this chimney so I can have a tree? I'm really just like grasping at straws here, but I think that replacing the chimney for a tree is a good change. I'll put this trash can in the back. Oh, it's so sad. I had such higher expectations for myself. I want to change the roof, but I'm not sure to what. I did like this one, but I feel like the shade of it. I don't know, something about it is kind of off. I think it needs like a different color. I almost like this one better because it's kind of a bit more brown, but oh, maybe I could change the color of the foundation. Maybe we could do like maybe I'll make it only 3 high also. You know what? Lowering the foundation helps. And maybe we could put like a better decor piece on the porch. Honestly, this is coming along. I'm gonna cheat now. I won't lie to you. I am gonna cheat and I'm gonna give myself a bush. I need to have one. I'm sorry, it's unbearable to me. I have to have some sort of landscaping, okay? I apologize. Sincerely, I apologize. I can't. Even this looks kind of bad, actually, to be honest with you. But I just can't do it. I have to put something. There needs to be some landscaping. Look, we'll get like a little cutesy little path or something kind of going out the front. I don't know if it should just go up to the end of the lot or not. I guess it should. And we'll do a little bit of terrain paint with dirt too, to kind of hopefully blend in everything and also make it look a little bit more finished because we really can't afford anything else. Ooh, look at that. I forgot to paint part of the foundation. See, it's a good thing that I'm doing this. Otherwise I would have missed that. I want another tree or something. This is so sad. I feel like this lot is like actually so sad looking. But really, if we're gonna follow the challenge rules, I probably shouldn't add anything else. Also, somehow it's a little bit more expensive than I meant for it to be. So maybe I've kind of flopped at my own challenge. But you know what? This was harder than I thought it would be. This lot is basically empty. So to follow the EA restrictions, it's like very difficult because there's nothing to take and replace. I'm embarrassed. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Although I did make it have an extra bedroom, which is kind of an accomplishment, okay? It's not the best, but it's something. I never want to see this house again. I'm putting it on the gallery and I never want to see it again. I should have just built my own starter home. I need to do that soon. I need to build more like base game and 1-pack sort of starter homes. This one is just base game and cats and dogs, so hopefully that helps. Anyway, on that note, I am gonna end this video right here. If you like Sims videos and like Sims build videos, I do a lot of them here on my channel, so feel free to subscribe. Also, as of today, I am currently traveling. I've gone to go to Dan's brother's wedding, so I'm not gonna be home. I'm posting a few pre-recorded videos, so just keep that in mind. I'll be gone for like a week, but you won't even notice that I'm gone because I'm still posting YouTube videos. But just so you know, they're pre-recorded. And with that being said, I'm gonna go and I will catch you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody. I'm a little bit nervous about it. I don't know why. It's been a while since I've been to a wedding. It's always weird going to like fancy events, you know?